Hello and welcome to Money Matters. Over the last decade, cannabidiol, or CBD, a derivative of marijuana, has entered the legal market in many countries. With proven demand, new products are now available, from edibles to balms and even beauty products. Last year, Hong Kong opened its doors to the first CBD cafe. This isn't your average cafe latte. It has a special ingredient, cannabidiol, or CBD, the second most active ingredient in marijuana. In the last few years, CBD has become popular as a natural treatment for anxiety, sleep disorders, and muscle pain. And no, it doesn't cause a high. So, what is the point of having caffeine, having coffee with CBD in it? Doesn't it just coffee wakes you up and CBD calms you?
A lot of people, when they have caffeine, maybe too much caffeine, they get anxious or jittery. What CBD does is actually helps counteract the kind of intensity of the caffeine. You still get the energy release of the caffeine, but you tend to have a calmer, more down-to-earth response as well to the caffeine from a kind of anxiety point of view.
The city's first CBD cafe opened last July in the middle of the pandemic. Despite the dining restrictions, the cafe has done well selling their products to retail customers and businesses.
We actually suspected there was a big demand in Hong Kong. Before we opened, there was really no dedicated outlet for CBD products. And even though there was a lockdown, I think we benefited also from the renewed focus on health and wellness last year, because everyone was thinking about their health. And then we definitely had some work from home people calling in during work hours. So overall, it was quite a positive thing.
Ben is a regular.
Since working from home has actually started, I've been here more often just because it's actually a relatively nice working environment, but I'd say 3 or 4 times a week. I initially used it to deal with, exam stress, finals week, too much coffee, not enough sleep, and I've kind of continued to use it for those main reasons. So CBD oil for sleep before I go to bed just generally helped me. And then I also use this balm on, my knees, which have particular muscle soreness and, pain after running, and I found that helps me as well.
In Hong Kong, only pure CBD or CBD isolate is legal. Anything containing tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana, is illegal and considered a dangerous drug. At this cafe, all the products are reportedly CBD isolate. Hong Kong CBD standards differ from those in the U.S., which allows 0.3% of THC, and Europe, which allows 0.2% THC. There are some studies that show CBD is more effective when paired with THC.
Quite a lot of what they claim as CBD, which is effective, is actually was found to have a little bit of THC indeed, but sadly to say, that is not allowed in our local law. I mean, the legal system, where we have a strict control on the use of THC because of this addictive propensity.
Dr. Mack says using CBD to treat anxiety or sleep disorders isn't really solving the deeper problem. What's needed is to see a doctor to get to the root of the disorder. He says there are better and more effective medications than CBD for those problems.
We are talking about whether we should choose a safer way to manage this issue, rather than taking risks of trying CBD with a little bit of THC and self-medicated them without a proper guidance. Different persons have their own body metabolism or their adaptability to certain medication.
CBD is also being used in beauty products. What will this help my skin achieve?
This has ingredients that will regenerate collagen and elastin. So using it after 2-3 weeks, you will start to see that fine lines, dry lines will be smoothed out, and complexion will be more smooth. It would pigmentation would be diminished, and coloring would be more fair.
This beauty serum was launched just last year, also during the pandemic. It contains CBD along with a number of plant ingredients. Kristen Tong, COO of MiAqua, says the CBD helps for better absorption of the other ingredients since it has anti-inflammatory properties.
CBD helps to soothe and calm the skin, calm the inflammation, calm the sensitivity. When your skin is calm, it's more receiving of nutrients, vitamins, and minerals.
Because of the pandemic, they weren't able to push through with their in-store launches, so they went online. Ironically, the pandemic has helped them as people have moved to online shopping. Kristen says that having CBD as an ingredient opens up a lot of dialogue with clients.
You get questions like, oh, when I use this product, am I going to get high? You know, and so it's like, no, I think it's good that people ask questions. I think it's important for the market to increase the knowledge. We now hold regular workshops, small groups in the office or larger groups on Zoom, and we talk about our products. You'd be surprised, like how many people really want to know about plant ingredients. It's very encouraging.
CBD has gained traction at a time when the public and government's views of cannabis has changed dramatically. CBD-related companies listed on stock exchanges have seen their valuations climb since 2014.
If you go all the way back to 2014 when Colorado legalized, U.S. cannabis stocks, which weren't even real companies, there weren't that many of them, but they went up like 10 times, 20 times. And then in Canada, right when they legalized for adult use in October of 18, the stocks soared, and they haven't seen levels like that since then.
According to Wise Guy Research Consultants, the global market for CBD oil is projected to grow from $967.2 million in 2020 to $5.3 billion by 2025. Growth drivers include expanded distribution in retail chains, product diversity, and e-commerce. During the pandemic, CBD was classified as essential in the U.S.
Our dispensaries were able to use e-commerce for the first time in many cases, as the states wanted to reduce in-store purchasing. So pickup and delivery, which had not been options in most places, were allowed. And all of a sudden, the legal market was able to compete with the illicit market, which can't put up a website.
And it's not just in the Americas that the industry is thriving.
Israel has a medical cannabis program, and it's doing very well, and it's about to go legal perhaps later this year. Germany has a medical cannabis program. What's phenomenal about that program is that patients are reimbursed by insurance, and they buy in their pharmacies.
Brochstein says the current valuations of CBD companies are solid, and it's a product with proven demand. It's just a matter of moving people from the illicit market to the legal market, something the pandemic has helped with.
The largest market cap U.S. company is about 11 or 12 billion right now. I think this is why we're seeing institutional investors come into the market. It's a reasonable price, especially when you consider that it's profitable and growing very rapidly. And then I think the other thing that's encouraging is that's just the biggest company. There's so many other companies with market caps of $1 billion or less that are more, that have better valuation, more compelling valuation.
For now, CBD looks set to go higher as companies do more research into its uses.